What is going on, everyone? Joey here. I figured this is going to be a quick and easy video, but I have a few people asking about Force on Force stuff, and we talk about it all the time. I mean, anytime we have a live stream that coincides with a Force on Force class like the fight, or like this week where it was the fight continues building up to alumni weekend, we talk about it a bunch on the live streams, and everyone in the chat and then we're all giving out tips and pointers and why Force on Force training is so important. And I figured that instead of having all of that across these live streams, why not do a quick video that's easy to search on the channel and everything like that. So, and I'm sure James has probably done a few videos about this Force on Force training stuff and why we recommend what we recommend. But I'm going to do one as well. So, first off, if you are getting ready to take a Force on Force class, my biggest recommendation is to kind of do some research about it first, because Force on Force training is super duper important. Super duper important. It's very important. How important? Super duper. Anyway, so it is very important that you get some Force on Force training. The problem is, though, is that it's very easy for Force on Force training to turn into like a paintball match, or for it to not be set up correctly. And maybe that sounds arrogant of us to be like, well, ours is correct, but be careful with everyone else's. But there are other people out there who do some good Force on Force training. But if you're coming to train with us, understand that we absolutely do take it very serious, and I have heard some horror stories from other students about some other Force on Force classes they've had. So make sure that you do your research and that it is a quality Force on Force class. So anyway, with that being said, when you go to take a Force on Force class, particularly if it's one that is about concealed carry, basically, right? Like, based around everyday scenarios where, like, you're going to the gas station and your scenario begins now, kind of thing, right? What you may run into. I recommend covering any part of exposed skin on your body with one layer, whether that's just a long sleeve shirt or maybe you throw on a pullover hoodie or something like that. I want all of the exposed skin covered and gloves for your hands. But I don't want to bundle up to the point of where I don't feel when the rounds hit me, So pain is a great teacher. You should feel the pain of getting hit with these sim rounds, but I don't want you to get yourself scarred up or anything like that. And the sim rounds, if they hit bare skin, can end up leaving some pretty. I haven't seen a lot of scars or anything like that. I haven't seen anybody like scarred from it. But if you get hit on bare skin, you do have a bit of a whelp for a while, and everything like that. So cover all of your exposed skin, and you'll be fine. Again, but don't throw on body armor or like 4 layers, because then you're not going to feel anything and you're not going to have that lesson taught as well as it could be, right? As far as any other like coverings or armor, quote unquote armor, that I would wear, cups are encouraged. People typically don't try to shoot you down in the crotchimus region, but it does happen. Man, role players are human too, and sometimes when their adrenaline gets pumped up and yours gets pumped up and you're both moving and you're both shooting and neither of you are looking at your sights, there's no telling where the rounds are going sometimes. So yes, I do encourage having some crotch protection going on. And something that I actually saw from some of the students, the last time we did the fight, they forgot to bring cups, and so what they did was they bought shamogs and kind of had them draped down in front of that in front of that area, and was hoping that it would do enough to slow, like if they did end up getting a round sent there, that it would slow it down enough, which I think is, in a pinch, I think that's a good idea as well. So outside of covering all of your skin, making sure you wear the other neck protection is very good as well. So if you have a shamog or something that you can put around your neck, or even a neck guard, I think that's encouraged as well. As far as like the actual class goes, I think the biggest thing or maybe not the biggest thing, but it is a pretty big shock for some students, I think, is how tired you will be after taking the class. So Basically what happens is you have like an adrenaline spike during the scenario, and then you have time to kind of relax and write everything down that happened, and then we debrief the scenario, and then you go into the next one, and then it's all these peaks and valleys, and you will be mentally exhausted typically by the end, especially by the end of day 2. So be prepared for that, and bring plenty of snacks in with you. We don't mind if you bring snacks into the classroom or anything. So make sure that you're doing that, and understand that that's going to happen. And then I guess my final piece of advice is, if you are signing up for Force on Force, that means that you're already taking a big step. That means that you're already willing to risk your ego, which I think is great. Not enough people do it. But even for the people who sign up for the class, when they come and they take a scenario and then they feel like they did it wrong, they can really end up beating themselves up a bit. My best advice to everyone who is interested in a Force on Force class, and you should be, is understand that the reason that you're taking a Force on Force class is so you can mess things up, right? Like, you're doing it so you can mess things up here for the first time, learn the lessons here, and not out there in an actual situation where, it is live fire, right? So that's the big thing, is give yourself permission to mess things up, and you're going to. I haven't taught a class. I haven't taught a Force on Force class where any of the students went through it and was just like, yeah, I nailed it every time, right? You're going to mess something up, and that's fine, So I guess that's it. That's all I really have for you guys. If you're interested in taking some Force on Force training, you should be. It's a part of the trifecta for a reason. So check out the schedule. We offer the fight pretty regularly. We do a trifecta at least once every other month, at least once a quarter, something like that. So jump in one of the classes and kind of see what you got going on, and hopefully I'll see you there. And remember, your responsibility to be ready for the fight never ends.